Throughout history, the Stoics, known for their deep philosophical insights, have delved into understanding human nature, emotions, and the dynamics of relationships. Their teachings, which emphasize self-control, patience, and wisdom, provide a profound foundation for understanding the complexities of human interactions, particularly when it comes to the psychology of women. In this episode, we're going to explore some critical aspects of female psychology that often go unnoticed, particularly when it comes to physical intimacy. There are certain points on a woman's body that require more than just physical touch. They demand understanding, respect, and sensitivity. Before you engage with these areas, it's essential to know what you're doing, how it affects her, and the potential impact on your relationship. Ignorance in this area can lead to misunderstandings, discomfort, and even long-term emotional consequences. Make sure to watch this video until the end to gain valuable insights that could transform your understanding of intimacy and enhance your relationships. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Let's dive into the world of female psychology and uncover the truths that every man should know. Chapter 1. Avoiding harmful practices. When it comes to physical intimacy, the line between pleasure and discomfort can sometimes be razor thin, especially when one lacks the proper knowledge or sensitivity. The Stoics, with their emphasis on wisdom and careful deliberation, teach us the importance of approaching every action with forethought and consideration. This principle is particularly crucial when engaging in intimate practices with a partner. The body, especially a woman's, is complex and sensitive, with areas that require a delicate touch and an understanding of what brings comfort versus what could cause harm. One of the primary dangers in intimacy is the tendency to be too rough or too forceful, either due to enthusiasm or misunderstanding what your partner desires. Many men, driven by a misguided notion of what is pleasurable, might believe that being vigorous is always better. However, without tuning into her responses, both verbal and non-verbal, this approach can quickly turn a potentially positive experience into one that leaves her feeling uncomfortable or even in pain. The Stoics would caution against such impulsive behavior. They would advise that every touch, every move should be measured, intentional, and responsive to the needs and reactions of your partner. Consider, for example, the importance of communication in intimacy. Many harmful practices arise not from a desire to hurt, but from a lack of communication. If you assume what she likes or needs without asking, you risk crossing boundaries that she may not have voiced out loud. Stoic wisdom encourages us to listen and to observe carefully. This means paying close attention to her body language, the way she breathes, and the sounds she makes. If she tenses up, pulls away, or seems less engaged, these are signs that something might be wrong, and it's crucial to address it immediately. The Stoics teach us that being attentive and adaptable in our actions is a form of respect, a way to honor the person we are with. Moreover, harmful practices aren't just about physical actions, but also about the environment and mindset in which intimacy takes place. Creating an atmosphere where she feels pressured or rushed can be just as damaging as any physical misstep. The Stoics valued patience and believed in the virtue of creating space for natural, unforced experiences. When you rush intimacy or make her feel like she needs to hurry up, you rob her of the opportunity to fully relax and engage in the experience. This not only diminishes her pleasure, but also erodes the trust and connection between you. True intimacy, according to Stoic principles, is about being fully present and allowing the experience to unfold at its own pace. There's also the matter of understanding the physical sensitivities of a woman's body. Certain areas, such as the clitoris or the breasts, are highly sensitive and require a gentle touch. Misunderstanding this can lead to discomfort or even pain, turning what should be a moment of pleasure into one of tension. The Stoics would argue that it's not enough to know where these sensitive areas are, you must also understand how to engage with them in a way that enhances her experience rather than detracting from it. This means using a light touch, varying pressure based on her responses, and never assuming that what worked before will always work. Lastly, avoiding harmful practices involves a commitment to ongoing learning and self-improvement. Just as the Stoics believed in the continuous pursuit of knowledge and self-mastery, so too should one approach intimacy as a skill that can always be refined. This means being open to feedback, willing to try new things, and constantly striving to be more attuned to your partner's needs. Harm often comes from ignorance or a refusal to grow, but by embracing the Stoic ideal of lifelong learning, you can avoid these pitfalls and become a more considerate and skilled partner. In conclusion, the Stoics remind us that wisdom, patience, and understanding are key to avoiding harmful practices in intimacy. It's about more than just avoiding physical pain. It's about creating a safe, trusting environment where your partner can fully enjoy the experience. By approaching intimacy with the same deliberation and thoughtfulness that the Stoics applied to all aspects of life, you not only enhance your partner's pleasure, but also strengthen the emotional bond between you. Remember, in the realm of intimacy, as in all things, the Stoics teach us that it is better to act with care and intention than to rush blindly forward. Chapter 2: Understanding Women's Preferences. When it comes to intimacy, one of the most crucial aspects that often gets overlooked is understanding a woman's preferences. This chapter delves deep into the significance of knowing what she likes and dislikes before venturing into physical contact. The Stoics, who mastered the art of self-awareness and the understanding of others, would emphasize the importance of gaining knowledge before taking action. The title of this video, "Avoid Touching These Points Until You Know," serves as a reminder that ignorance can lead to mistakes, especially when it comes to something as delicate as intimacy. Understanding a woman's preferences is not just about avoiding mistakes, it's about enhancing her experience and making her feel valued and respected. Every woman is different, and what one finds pleasurable, another might find uncomfortable or even painful. This variation means that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to intimacy. The Stoics would advise taking the time to learn and appreciate these differences, as understanding is key to avoiding missteps that could harm your relationship. One of the most effective ways to understand her preferences is through open and honest communication. Ask her what she likes, what feels good, and what she'd prefer to avoid. This conversation might seem daunting at first, but it's essential for creating a safe and enjoyable experience for both partners. The Stoics believed in the value of dialogue and reflection. They would suggest that such discussions not only help in avoiding physical discomfort, but also in building a deeper emotional connection. Another important aspect of understanding her preferences is to observe her responses during intimate moments. The body language, facial expressions, and even her breathing can provide invaluable clues about what she enjoys. If she tenses up when you touch a certain area, or if she seems more relaxed and responsive when you focus elsewhere, these are signs that you should pay attention to. The Stoics taught that wisdom comes from careful observation and reflection. In the context of intimacy, this means being attuned to her nonverbal cues and adjusting your actions accordingly. It's also worth noting that preferences can change over time or even from one moment to the next. What she enjoyed last week might not be what she's in the mood for today. This fluidity is something that the Stoics would recognize as part of the ever-changing nature of life. They would encourage you to approach each intimate encounter with a fresh perspective, free from assumptions or expectations based on past experiences. By doing so, you respect her autonomy and acknowledge that her desires are dynamic, not static. Furthermore, understanding her preferences means recognizing the importance of the mental and emotional aspects of intimacy. Women's pleasure is often deeply connected to how they feel emotionally. If she feels stressed, anxious, or disconnected, it's unlikely that she'll fully enjoy the experience, no matter what physical actions you take. The Stoics, with their focus on the mind-body connection, would advise you to ensure that she's in a positive mental state before initiating physical contact. This might involve talking through any concerns she has, creating a comfortable and relaxing environment, or simply taking the time to connect emotionally before moving on to the physical aspects of intimacy. In conclusion, the Stoics would remind us that knowledge and understanding are the foundation of any successful endeavor, including intimacy. By taking the time to learn about her preferences, you not only avoid potential mistakes, but also create a more meaningful and pleasurable experience for both of you. Remember, intimacy is not just about physical actions, it's about connecting on a deeper level and ensuring that both partners feel valued and respected. Avoid touching those sensitive points until you know what she truly desires, and in doing so, you'll strengthen the bond between you and your partner. Chapter 3: Navigating Physical and Emotional Appeal. The concept of attraction extends far beyond physical appearance. It's a complex interplay of both physical and emotional factors that determine how connected and attracted two people feel towards each other. The Stoics, who were masters of human psychology, understood that true appeal comes from within as much as it does from the outside. In the context of intimacy, this means that touching the wrong points, whether they be physical areas of her body or emotional triggers, can create distance rather than closeness. When we talk about navigating physical and emotional appeal, we're referring to the careful balance of understanding what draws your partner in and what could potentially push her away. The Stoics would argue that self-awareness and mindfulness are crucial in this process. Knowing yourself and your own tendencies can help you avoid actions that might harm the relationship. For instance, if you have a tendency to become overly focused on physical pleasure, the Stoics would remind you to take a step back and consider the emotional context as well. One of the key elements of maintaining physical and emotional appeal is the ability to adapt to your partner's needs and desires. What worked in the beginning of the relationship might not work as well later on. The Stoics believed in the importance of flexibility and adaptation in all areas of life, including relationships. They would advise you to remain open to change and to continuously seek to understand your partner's evolving needs. This might involve altering your approach to physical intimacy, being more attentive to her emotional state, or simply being present and engaged in the moment. Physical appeal, while important, is not the sole determinant of attraction. The way you carry yourself, your confidence, your ability to communicate, and your emotional intelligence all play a significant role in how attractive you are to your partner. The Stoics placed a high value on virtues such as wisdom, courage, and self-control, all of which contribute to a person's overall appeal. In the context of intimacy, this means being in control of your actions, making wise choices that consider your partner's feelings, and having the courage to address any issues that arise. Emotional appeal, on the other hand, is closely tied to how safe and valued your partner feels in the relationship. The Stoics understood that emotions are powerful and can either strengthen or weaken a bond. To maintain emotional appeal, it's important to be attuned to your partner's feelings, to offer support and understanding, and to create an environment where she feels secure and loved. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations or pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, it involves being honest, open, and willing to work through challenges together. Another aspect of navigating physical and emotional appeal is understanding the impact of timing. The Stoics were keenly aware of the importance of timing in all things. In intimacy, this means recognizing when the moment is right for certain actions and when it's better to hold back. For example, initiating physical contact when she's not in the mood or pushing for emotional closeness when she needs space can backfire. The Stoics would advise patience and attentiveness, urging you to wait for the right moment rather than forcing things. In conclusion, the Stoics teach us that true appeal comes from a combination of physical presence and emotional connection. By being mindful of both aspects, you can avoid the pitfalls of focusing too much on one at the expense of the other. Remember, attraction is a holistic experience that involves both the body and the mind. By navigating these waters with care, wisdom, and patience, you ensure that your partner feels both physically and emotionally drawn to you, creating a deeper and more fulfilling connection. Chapter 4: Temperature and Sperm Health. The Stoics believed that every aspect of our lives should be approached with wisdom and moderation. This philosophy extends even to the seemingly mundane choices we make every day, such as the temperature of the water we use in the shower. It might surprise you, but the temperature of your showers can have a significant impact on sperm health and testosterone levels, factors that are crucial for male reproductive health. The testicles, where sperm is produced, function best at a temperature slightly cooler than the rest of the body. This is why they are located outside the main body cavity. Hot showers, baths, or other activities that raise the temperature of the testicles can impair sperm production and decrease sperm quality. This is not just a trivial concern. The Stoics would view it as an important aspect of maintaining bodily health, which is essential for fulfilling one's duties and responsibilities in life. Studies have shown that exposure to high temperatures, such as those found in hot showers or baths, can lead to a temporary reduction in sperm count. This is because the heat can disrupt the normal function of the testicles, leading to a decrease in sperm production. The Stoics, who valued self-discipline and control, would likely advise against excessively hot showers as a measure of prudence and care for one's body. Just as they would recommend temperance in food and drink, they would also suggest moderation in the temperature of your daily baths or showers. Testosterone, the hormone that plays a crucial role in male health and reproductive function, can also be affected by high temperatures. Testosterone levels are highest when the body is kept cool, and anything that raises body temperature, such as prolonged exposure to hot water, can potentially lower testosterone levels. The Stoics would encourage awareness of these effects and suggest adjusting your habits to ensure that you are not inadvertently harming your reproductive health. If you're trying to conceive or simply want to maintain optimal sperm health, consider taking cooler showers, especially before bed. Not only can this help preserve sperm health, but cooler showers are also known to have other health benefits, such as improving circulation and reducing stress. The Stoics, who often practiced cold water baths as a form of temperance and self-control, would approve of this practice as a way to strengthen both body and mind. In summary, the temperature of your showers might seem like a small detail, but it can have a significant impact on your reproductive health. The Stoics would advise you to be mindful of this and to choose moderation over excess. By making small adjustments, such as opting for cooler showers, you can help protect your sperm health, maintain your testosterone levels, and ensure that your body is functioning at its best. Chapter 5: Avoiding Unhealthy Habits. The Stoics believed that a life of virtue and wisdom required the avoidance of unhealthy habits that could harm the body, mind, or spirit. When it comes to maintaining reproductive health and overall well-being, there are several critical practices that should be avoided. The title of this video, "Avoid Touching These Points Until You Know," can be seen as a metaphor for steering clear of habits that could negatively impact your health and, by extension, your relationships. One of the most significant unhealthy habits to avoid is smoking. Smoking has been shown to reduce sperm count, decrease sperm motility, and increase the risk of erectile dysfunction. The Stoics, who valued self-discipline and control, would strongly advise against smoking as a way to protect both your physical health and your capacity to fulfill your duties in life. They would remind you that each cigarette smoked is a step away from health and vitality, and that true strength lies in the ability to resist harmful temptations. Excessive alcohol consumption is another habit that can have detrimental effects on reproductive health. Alcohol can lower testosterone levels, impair sperm production, and lead to erectile dysfunction. The Stoics advocated for moderation in all things, including alcohol. They would counsel you to drink in moderation, if at all, and to be mindful of the long-term consequences of excessive drinking. For the Stoics, the pursuit of pleasure should never come at the expense of health or virtue. Poor diet is another factor that can negatively affect reproductive health. A diet high in processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats can lead to obesity, which is associated with lower testosterone levels, reduced sperm quality, and an increased risk of infertility. The Stoics, who believed in the importance of nourishing the body with wholesome foods, would advise you to adopt a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. They would encourage you to view food as fuel for the body and to choose foods that promote health and vitality. Lack of exercise is another unhealthy habit that can impact reproductive health. Regular physical activity is essential for maintaining a healthy weight, boosting testosterone levels, and improving sperm quality. The Stoics, who valued physical fitness as a means of maintaining the body's strength and resilience, would advise you to incorporate regular exercise into your routine. They would remind you that a strong body is better equipped to face the challenges of life and that physical health is the foundation of a virtuous and fulfilling life. Finally, chronic stress is an often overlooked factor that can have a significant impact on reproductive health. Stress can lead to hormonal imbalances, lower testosterone levels, and impaired sperm production. The Stoics, who believed in the power of the mind to influence the body, would advise you to manage stress through practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing exercises. They would remind you that inner peace and tranquility are essential for maintaining both mental and physical health. In conclusion, the Stoics teach us that avoiding unhealthy habits is essential for maintaining reproductive health and overall well-being. By practicing moderation, self-discipline, and mindfulness, you can protect your body and ensure that you are living in accordance with the principles of wisdom and virtue. Remember, every choice you make has an impact on your health and your ability to live a fulfilling life. Avoid these harmful practices, and you'll be better equipped to face life's challenges with strength and resilience. Chapter 6: Navigating Relationships and Attraction. Attraction and relationship success are deeply intertwined with how we navigate our interactions with others, especially with women. The Stoics, who valued wisdom, self-control, and understanding, would remind us that certain behaviors can either enhance or detract from our attractiveness and the success of our relationships. In this chapter, we explore key behaviors to avoid in order to foster positive, fulfilling relationships with women. One of the most important behaviors to avoid is neediness. Women are often attracted to men who are confident, self-assured, and independent. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-sufficiency and the ability to stand strong in the face of adversity. They would advise against clinging to a woman for validation or approval, as this can come across as needy and insecure. Instead, the Stoics would encourage you to cultivate inner strength and self-confidence, which are far more attractive qualities. Another behavior to avoid is dishonesty. Trust is the foundation of any successful relationship, and dishonesty can quickly erode that trust. The Stoics, who valued honesty and integrity, would counsel you to always be truthful and transparent in your interactions with women. They would remind you that a relationship built on lies is destined to fail, while one founded on truth and mutual respect can flourish. Honesty not only fosters trust, but also deepens the emotional connection between partners. A third behavior to avoid is being overly critical or judgmental. While it's important to have standards, constantly criticizing or judging your partner can create tension and resentment in the relationship. The Stoics, who practiced empathy and understanding, would advise you to be mindful of your words and actions. They would encourage you to focus on your partner's positive qualities and to approach any issues with kindness and compassion. By doing so, you create a more supportive and loving environment that enhances the relationship. Another key behavior to avoid is failing to listen. Communication is a two-way street, and being a good listener is essential for maintaining a healthy relationship. The Stoics, who valued the art of conversation and the exchange of ideas, would remind you that listening is just as important as speaking. They would advise you to be fully present in your interactions with women, to listen attentively to their thoughts and feelings, and to respond with understanding and empathy. By being a good listener, you show that you value your partner's perspective and are committed to building a strong, lasting connection. Finally, the Stoics would caution against being passive or indecisive. Women are often attracted to men who take initiative and demonstrate leadership qualities. The Stoics believed in the importance of taking action and making decisions with confidence and clarity. They would advise you to be assertive in your relationships, to take the lead when necessary, and to be decisive in your actions. By doing so, you project confidence and strength, which are qualities that women find attractive. In summary, the Stoics teach us that navigating relationships and attraction requires wisdom, self-control, and a deep understanding of human nature. By avoiding behaviors such as neediness, dishonesty, criticism, poor listening, and passivity, you can enhance your attractiveness and increase the likelihood of relationship success. Remember, true attraction comes from within, and the qualities that make you a better person also make you a more desirable partner. Cultivate these qualities, and you'll find that your relationships with women become more fulfilling and successful. Chapter 7: Why you should avoid touching her anus at first. In the realm of physical intimacy, respecting boundaries is far more than just a courteous gesture. It is the cornerstone of cultivating a healthy and trusting relationship. Especially when it comes to particularly sensitive and deeply personal areas such as the anus, this respect becomes even more critical. The anus is not just a physically sensitive area, it carries significant emotional and psychological weight for many people. Engaging with this area without explicit and informed consent can lead to discomfort, anxiety, or even emotional trauma. Such negative experiences have the potential to undermine trust and intimacy, causing long-lasting damage to the relationship. Before even contemplating any form of touch or stimulation involving the anus, it is essential to have an open and honest conversation with your partner. This discussion should be comprehensive and nuanced, addressing not only your partner's feelings and boundaries, but also their comfort levels and expectations. Effective communication in this context is not simply about expressing your own desires, it is about actively listening to and respecting your partner's views and feelings. Clear, empathetic dialogue demonstrates a deep respect for each person's limits and helps to create a supportive and healthy emotional environment. Without this crucial step, there is a significant risk of imposing unwanted experiences on your partner, which can severely damage the trust and connection you have worked so hard to build. The physical sensitivity of the anus necessitates a highly careful and informed approach. This area requires specific knowledge and preparation to ensure that any touch is both safe and pleasurable. An uninformed or careless approach can result in physical pain or harm, potentially causing lasting negative impacts on the relationship. This underscores the importance of not rushing into such intimate actions without adequate understanding and preparation. Each interaction with this sensitive area must be approached with thoughtful consideration, respecting the partner's physical and emotional boundaries to avoid any discomfort or distress. Beyond the physical aspects, the psychological implications of touching the anus are deeply significant. The anus is often regarded as an intensely private part of the body, and touching it without a complete understanding of your partner's emotional and psychological readiness can feel invasive or disrespectful. Recognizing and respecting these boundaries is essential for building a deeper, more meaningful connection. This respect contributes to a relationship based on mutual understanding and empathy, where both partners feel valued and secure in their interactions. It is also important to acknowledge that building trust around such intimate actions is a process that takes time. Rushing into any form of touch involving the anus without thorough mutual understanding and agreement can lead to feelings of intrusion or disrespect. Patience and sensitivity are key in ensuring that any exploration of this area is conducted with mutual consent and care. This approach not only enhances the physical experience, but also supports the emotional and psychological well-being of both partners, promoting a more positive and fulfilling intimate relationship. In summary, the necessity of avoiding any touch involving the anus until there is a comprehensive mutual understanding and agreement cannot be overstated. This approach addresses not only the physical aspects of pleasure, but also the deeper emotional and psychological dimensions of intimacy. By practicing clear communication, patience, and sensitivity, you contribute to a more harmonious and satisfying intimate experience. Building a relationship founded on trust, respect, and mutual pleasure fosters a deeper connection and ensures that both partners feel truly valued and understood. This respect extends beyond the initial stages of a relationship and continues to be vital as the relationship progresses. Over time, as trust deepens and the relationship evolves, partners may become more comfortable discussing and exploring new areas of intimacy. However, even in long-term relationships, the principles of communication, consent, and respect remain just as important. Each partner's comfort and readiness should always be considered, and boundaries should be revisited and renegotiated as needed. This ongoing dialogue not only prevents misunderstandings, but also reinforces the bond between partners, allowing for a more intimate and trusting relationship. Additionally, it is important to recognize that everyone's boundaries and comfort levels are unique and can change over time. What may be acceptable or enjoyable for one partner may not be for another. Therefore, it is crucial to approach each situation with an open mind and a willingness to adapt. Flexibility and a non-judgmental attitude can help create a safe space where both partners feel free to express their desires, concerns, and boundaries. This mutual respect and understanding pave the way for a more fulfilling and harmonious intimate relationship. In conclusion, touching the anus or any other sensitive area should never be taken lightly or approached casually. It requires a deep level of trust, communication, and mutual respect. By prioritizing these elements and taking the time to understand and respect your partner's boundaries, you can create a more meaningful and satisfying connection. Whether you are in the early stages of a relationship or have been together for years, these principles remain essential for fostering a healthy, loving, and intimate partnership. Ultimately, it is this foundation of respect and understanding that allows both partners to feel truly valued and cherished in their relationship.